What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl, it's Leanne. We're getting blissed out. I'm off and I'm using my time wisely in order to do the things that I love to do in serving the community and finding loopholes in bettering this wonderful planet Earth. Today, I have Gagan with me on the show, and he's on the other side of the camera. Hi, Gagan.
Hi.
Gagan, your last name is Tatla? Is your last name Tatla?
Tatla used to be my last name. My
Okay.
last name is actually Bhathal.
Bhathal.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that I know that we're dealing with Gagan Bhathal.
Yes.
Okay. So community, there's a lot of projects that are going on. I've done a lot of podcasting and really excited to continue to podcast about environmental, sustainable, eco-conscious communities. There's a lot going on, but there's one unbelievable project that's going on all the way across the world. It's a Save the Soil project with Sadhguru. And I was chatting with Gagan. Gagan has a bunch of wonderful things that he's been doing. We're going to be talking about Gagan and his life and his little bit of contributions. And we'll talk about Save the Soil project too. So first, let's start, Gagan, with welcoming you in and tell us a little bit about your inspirations and what you're doing with business.
Basically, I'm inspired by life. So I do whatever is needed. That's what I do. Well, that's what I do now anyways.
Okay.
I had a big change in my life a few years back where something just came over me and I slowly just stopped eating meat, stopped drinking alcohol for no real reason. And then I came across Isha. I learned some yoga, and that's completely changed my life now. And I'm doing everything that I can to support not only Isha, but life in any way that I can.
And that just means with compassion, I guess the change in what I'm hearing from you, myself being vegan now 5 years, vegetarian 35 years, there's a time and place, I think, for all of us to find that sensitivity. And you found something within you that sparked your idea of service or contribution, which that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, I don't know if this is the right time to jump into it, but like, for example, right now, what I'm working on is the Save Soil movement, helping spread the word so that everyone is aware about this. About this movement. And there's millions of people joining hands right now, and they're talking about this. And we just have to push this to not just millions, but we need to push it to at least 3.5 billion people.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why we're here to contribute. That's why we have this opportunity. I really feel nature has stopped some things, and we learn from the masters, and then we learn from how we can contribute by looking within ourselves. So I feel like you learned about yoga, you had the chance to learn about your breath, you learned how to look inside. And then when you look outside and you realize, well, there's enough science to help us understand where we are with the earth. And there's enough people going out doing all this work that are saying, okay, guys, you got 50 years to change this. And what I'm seeing that Sadhguru is doing is he's trying to educate people to see through that loophole and utilizing his consciousness to serve. And likewise, I think you found that by doing your yoga. And tell us a little bit about your connection with Sadhguru, because I feel, in giving honor to each individual, we all have a reflective time and we all have a reflection within the collective of humans. And this Sadhguru, what did you find when you connected with him, and how is this impacting you?
It's actually really funny. When I first came across Sadhguru, like I said, this was the time when I stopped eating meat and stopped drinking alcohol. I was searching for something more, because then a realization came that there's something more than just, whatever I'm doing on my day-to-day basis. There's more to life. And I came across several people who actually really helped me out and, helped me. I don't know how an easy way to explain this is, but helped me realize a little bit more. And at that time, I started seeing advertisements on YouTube, because that's where I did most of my research, And I would see his advertisements, And I would skip them every single time, because I see this guy, I'm like, who is this guy? He looks like we call him Baba, like an old man, and got a big beard, turban. He's up to no good. He's trying to scam people. And so I would just keep on skipping these advertisements. And then one day I was looking number 108, that's a very significant number. It just popped into my life. And then I was researching, like, okay, what is number 108? What's so significant about it? And then his video again popped up, and I was like, oh, why does this guy keep on popping up? But then I decided to listen. And I listened, and it made a lot of sense. Like, it was very logical, and it was very clear. And I've never seen that kind of clarity from anyone before. But then I still thought, I'm like, he's still up to something. Like, he's still trying to, scam me in some way, somehow. And so I watched more and more of his videos, trying to look for, that thing where I can say, okay, yeah, this guy's just like a fake. But that never happened. And you know what? I fell into his trap, and now I can't leave.
It's just his love, a trap or love. I feel like it's love.
You know what? You can it can be a trap of love. You can say
he's got you hooked on love with him. That's good.
His logic pulls you in, and then but once you're in, then there's no more logic. It's a little difficult to explain, but yes, like Sadhguru is very inclusive, and when you just sit with him, you also become very inclusive as well. There's no way that you cannot be. So I've taken his inner engineering course, and then after that, I really got into it. And then any type of yoga that he could offer, I went and I learned. And now my sleep quota has come down. I usually wake up around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I do my yoga from 3 a.m. to about 8:30, 9 a.m. And then also throughout the day, there's a couple of times that I do yoga as well too. My food consumption has gone down. I only eat 2 meals a day if that's required, sometimes even 1 meal. And I'm full of energy. What can I say? Life's been great.
What I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, because my reflection with you and understanding and listening to so much of Sadhguru lately, because I have some beautiful breakthrough with Lord Shiva. There's so much in understanding what we're all dissolving in, what we're all expanding through, and then how are we utilizing this time and space with where time is. I mean, where Shiva was in like 5,000 years ago, it's different than where we are right now. But then that consciousness never leaves us, and that aspect of how we're reflecting source through Shiva, through Jesus, through Guru Nanak, through all of these ascendant masters. And then the yogas, and having the option to use many methodologies like Kriya Yoga, Hatha Yoga, all these wonderful mantras, give us that availability to remember our awakening, remember our consciousness. And that's what I'm really hearing from you, is that you've dived deeply, you've found your light, you found the pathway with a really great master. And all of us consciously and collectively through these hard times are having that uplifting time to make the change. And we need to come together now. So let's talk about more of the Save the Soil project and to save the environment. What do you know about this now that you're involved with Isha and you have this ability? You started with something with your own business too. So with your oils, you were donating something for the tree project?
Yeah. So there's a project that was started by Sadhguru, and it all relates to the same Save Soil project right now. But it related to, the rivers drying up, not just in India, but that's where they kind of wanted to show that, hey, okay, we can do this and it works. And, but this is also true all around the world, where over the last few hundred years, trees have been chopped down, and that's led to the rivers drying up. And also the way the farming the way that is done right now. It's very harmful. So they started a project called Kaveri Calling, also known as Rally for Rivers, where they're planning on planting over like almost 3 billion trees over a 12-year period to revitalize the rivers. So as a way to give back, one of the business that I do is essential oils. And through the sales of these essential oils, like every $100 worth of sales, we go and we plant one tree. We donate one tree for that cause.
Very nice.
Yeah. So we want to do everything that we can do. I mean, we do fundraising for the trees as well too, aside from just the business, as much as we can. And to date, myself and my team, we've donated over 10,000 trees.
Wonderful. Yeah, so maybe we can put that in the link after we finish this conversation. We'll put in the link when we post about where we can contribute and where we can share this wonderful interview. So yeah, so let's talk a little bit more now that we know about what you're contributing with the trees, and the trees have now come to save the soil. So what is this project about, Save the Soil? Let's talk about that. How can we be an earth buddy?
So it's actually very easy. What we need to do right now is we need to create awareness that this is an issue, that the soil is dying. You'll see in the Save Soil movement, you won't see so much about, oh, this is the solution to save it, or this is the solution to save it, because it's actually going to be different for, different areas of the world, depending on your latitude, longitude, all that type of stuff, and what's going on in sort of each country. So the solutions, we'll just leave those aside, because that is being offered to the governments through Isha anyways. But what's most important is that we need to create awareness. We need people to know that these are the issues, that the soil is dying, what the problem is. Because we want the political leaders to look at this, and the next time the voting elections come around, the people are going to be wanting the government to make some sort of a change. So we want these to be an election issue. Because me and you, I could tell you, okay, this is the problem with the soil, it's dying, and at an individual level, in your garden, you can do this, this, and this to keep the soil very vibrant. That's all good, but it doesn't solve the overall issue. Most of the soil where the problems are happening is in the farming industry. And as farmers, 50% of the American farmers haven't made any money in the last 10 years. The number one suicide rate for any industry in the US is farming. And even in India, because I have the numbers for this, 300,000 farmers have committed suicide since 2000. So the only way that we can really help is if the governments put in policies into making these changes. The soil, people think, okay, soil is not going to die. Soil doesn't go extinct. Well, yes, it does. The soil has a lot of organic content, a lot of microbes in it. So just like a handful of soil has more microbes in there than the entire human population right now. And our life is very connected to their life. When they're dying, we are also dying at the same time. We don't always look at it that way. Everything is one. Everything is one. You change one thing, it affects us. Sometimes we think, okay, we affect something else, but we're still okay. No, it doesn't work like that. Everything gets affected. So over the years, especially the last 50 years, the farming practices, and we're not even talking about trees right now, just the farming practices alone have degraded the soil by about 50% or more. So according to government bodies, in order for soil to be considered fertile, it needs to have at least 2% organic content. But right now, most places of the world, it's less than 1% and even less than 0.5%. And what that means is that there's not enough nutrition in the soil. The only way that the plants, the produce can get the nutrients is if it's already in the soil. But we've been killing them because we've been using chemical fertilizers, and we've forgotten that, we need animals on the farms, we need trees on the farms, we need multi-crops, all those things. So right now we're at a time where if we start making changes right now, within the next 15 to 20 years, we can turn around the problem of this, of the soil dying, and increase the organic content. But if we decide to wait 25 years and then do it at that time, well, at that time, we would have destroyed so much organic content that to bring it back, it would take at least 200 years. And what that means is, if we don't make any changes right now, 15 to 30 years from now, we're going to be facing famines. And it's only going to get worse and worse. And it's not like, okay, the soil degradation is just going to cause the food to just disappear at one time. No, it's happening over time. And as the soil is degrading, our life is also degrading as well. Just to give you like a small example, what our grandparents, when they ate, for example, an orange, the amount of vitamin A in that orange that they got from one orange, if we are to get the same amount of vitamin A from oranges, today we would have to eat 8 oranges. So the content is slowly going down, and so we are also being depleted, because when we eat these things, we think, okay, these are very healthy things, but they're not containing as much of the nutrients that they used to. So slowly it is affecting our lives. You can see it, like the medical system right now, like look how big it is. It's huge. Because people are having so many problems. And this is one of the reasons. It's not the only reasons, but this is one of the reasons why. And it's only going to get worse unless we make the changes right now.
Yeah, I love this project. And I love the fact that we started off talking about yoga, because that's part of what I do. And I really believe that that's part of my legacy, to bring it out. I wish more people are breathing deeper and watching their minds. So what we're contributing, community, is an open door. And it's an open door and an invitation. Likewise with Blissed Out Network and Conscious Living Radio, my brother company. And now with Gagan and all the other people that we want to hold hands, we're sending this invitation out to you to join us to learn more. So I know, Gagan, this is the first time we're being spontaneous. We're just getting to know each other. There's so much to come, my dear brother. And there's so much that we can do, even with the oils that you have to share. Likewise, I just wanted to make sure I get this door wide open when I have the time, because I don't believe there's time to waste. And I wanted to be able to get some of this information out so that people that are thinking about this right now and want to contribute and want to walk with us don't have to think about the divide. We're not divided collectively. We are brothers and sisters. And how can we hold hands with this project? Because it's for the earth, it's for the next generation. A couple questions I have here just while we wrap this up is, what do you want to say to the community other than everything that you said right now? What do you want to request of them? And where can they see more of this other than on your Instagram? Or do you think it's Isha? Do you think people should look more about the videos on YouTube?
This is not really an Isha project. This is a project for everybody. So we don't need to look at Isha or promote Isha towards this. What I would say is to everybody, do your research about the soil dying. We've done already a lot of research, which you can find at savesoil.org. You can do a lot of learning there. What we really need is the project actually took off yesterday, March 21st, and it's going on for 100 days. So my request is that everybody talk about soil for the next 100 days or the 99 days, because one day is now gone. talk about soil and tell at least one other person about what you find about soil.
Well, I think, we can also offer an opportunity in a link below this where people can communicate about it. And then whatever we can do, Gagan, reflectively, where you can respond or where you can put time into it, please come out and share, because I feel you're very passionate about that. And I think we just have this opportunity to get to know each other. I want to thank you so much for showing up. And I feel so good because, yes, I'm very grateful for Sadhguru. I feel through my own legacy and what I'm doing, he's a really great leader. And I really feel that it takes a lot of responsibility to do what he's doing and having the breakthroughs to really serve Mother Earth and to really serve that divine energy that we all need to come back to and to love one another. So thank you so much for showing up. Anything else that you want to leave? You said that one link, you said what was that, .org? What was it?
Savesoil.org.
Savesoil.org. Okay, so that'll be a link we can put at the end. And guys, do add Gagan to your Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Gtatla 2017.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so we have a direct message box here on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever it may be, wherever you can reach this video, and also in YouTube, leave your comments and let's do this together. It's a community-based project. It's not something that can be done by one person. We need billions of people to do this. So thanks for showing up, Gagan. And we've just gotten started. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste. Namaste.